Hello fans, Rick Taylor here. I haven't made a video in quite a while of cigar rolling, so I'm fixing to roll me some daily smokers here, and I figured I would make a video, an update video. I don't know if I'm doing anything different than I usually do, or have done, or have videoed before, but I thought I would go ahead and do that, and it's for y'all to decide if you like it or not. But this is the why and the how I make my smokers, my cigars. Now, for those of you who haven't seen my cigar videos, I buy my binder and filler online. Leaf only is where I've been buying it, but I bought it from several other places and been just satisfied with it. But leaf only seems to deliver the tobacco in the best condition and the best quality tobacco at good prices. I wait until the stuff goes on sale as a rule. It gives me a reason to buy different types of filler and binder. I mostly like Dominican. Given a choice, I would use Dominican, but I've also bought other varieties of binder and filler. This is a typical aged filler. Leaves come pressed together because they've been in stacks, and they've been aged, and so they're in perfect shape to go ahead and roll cigars with. And this is the binder. It usually comes tight at the top, and it's got it's a thinner leaf, and I put it in a box and I moisten a towel and put on top of it and leave it in there for a day or two, and it makes it more pliable, and it makes it easier to use. So what I normally would do is put the vein up, bottom of the stem toward me, take my chaveta, which is a cigar rolling knife, and I will cut out the central vein, because really it's hard to roll a cigar with that big old fat vein there in the middle. And take that vein out, keeping as much of the leaf as possible and without tearing the leaf. Now you might say, well, how do you roll with that? Because that doesn't look like it's in very good shape. And you're right, it's not in very good shape, because look at this. It's been split. It's got little holes in it. It's kind of raggedy down here. But believe it or not, I could try to use this one half of a leaf to roll a cigar that I can actually smoke. It's not the easiest thing. This would be a little easier because this half of the leaf is in a little better shape. Not as many holes, not quite as raggedy, but now that I spread it out a little, just treat the wrapper leaves real, the wrapper and binder leaves real gently. Now see, that this one's not looking as good either. See, it's got some splits. It's not totally wet. It's still a little crinkly here. It's softer here. I can take this leaf and maybe add this one to it, and it would make a really good cigar. Now here's another leaf. It's in a little better shape than the first one. This one I could definitely make a cigar out of each side of it. But what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to roll a cigar. This is cigar glue. You have to search my other videos. I show you how to make this. This is fruit pectin, and I keep it in the refrigerator. Now here's another part of what I do, what I use to roll with. This is newsprint. I just cut thin strips of newsprint. We got a local daily magazine, comes out, it's free. I pick a couple of them up, bring them home, use sharp scissors, cut them into strips, put them aside, and I use them to roll up my cigars. Okay, enough of that. Alright. Now, let me bring that camera in a little closer so you can get a better view. Okay, I take the leaf. As a rule, I use the thicker end, the top part of the leaf, as the bottom of the cigar, so I have it away from me. Now I take this leaf, and what I've been tempted to do before, and I might do here, is see where this is separated. I hate to cut that off, but you know what, it's going to be real hard to get around that. What I'll do is I'll trim this. Alright, you can save these pieces or throw them away. It's up to you. Alright, and then down here, kind of got the same situation. Okay, take the cigar glue, put it all over the tip top. This stuff is, you can't taste it when you're smoking. Doesn't hurt you. It's fruit pectin. It doesn't affect the taste of the cigar. I put it all along the edge because I don't want my cigar unrolling on me. And there we go. Now, you take the filler. Sometimes what I'll do is I'll take the middle stem out if it's really big. 9 times out of 10, I'll just leave it in. When you're smoking it, it doesn't really affect it that much. I kind of like the stronger taste that the stem provides in the cigar, and it makes it thicker because what I've been doing lately is rolling using the intubado method, which means you make little tubes out of the filler. So what I do is go ahead and I roll this up. I don't care what the bottom does, just the top I'm worried about right now. This is going to be the side of the cigar I smoke. I roll the same direction and the same way every time because with habit you become better. Okay, there's 4 leaves. Excuse me. There's 4 leaves. And I've got a couple inches out the top. I'll rip that off. Okay, see, I got 4 leaves up there. I got the bottom, which isn't rolled up. I put it in the middle. Now I've got the intubado leaves around the outside of it, more or less. It's approximately the length that I want to roll, and especially with this size leaf, which is not very big. And I'm going to lay it down like this, and I'm going to pick up the bottom and start rolling it. Not too tight, not too loose, and definitely not twisting the upper part. I want it all to rotate at the same time. As you can see, I'm rolling, rolling, rolling. Get up near the top. There we go. There we go. Okay, you say, well, that doesn't look much like a cigar. Okay, that's fine. Just rolling it up. Now I'm going to feel down here, cut off the part that there's nothing inside. See, there's hardly anything. Whip it around. Feel this side. Trim it up. Flip it back around. I'm keeping in mind which side I'm going to smoke from. I'm going to smoke from this side. I've been intending to do it when I started, when I laid the leaf out, and that's the way it's going to be. And that way it won't unroll on me when I'm doing it. And the other part of it is when I'm putting the wrapper on it, I start with this, the end I'm going to light. I start on that end. I roll it up nice and tight. This is the time when you can tighten it up. I get near the top. I hold this loosely and I spin it, and it tightens the paper down. Roll it a few times like this. Voila. This feels nice and tight. This takes the place of a wooden press. So I can leave this sit for about an hour, then take the wrapper off, this part off, and there's a smokable cigar. I'll usually trim the edges with a trimmer and then light it up. I'll smoke it from this side. I'll light this side. Okay, about an hour. Let it sit, and you're all set. Okay, let's do one more real quick. Okay, we're going to use this really, really ratty leaf that I had. Now this one, I'm going to show you how to do it without trimming it. Okay, this one couldn't look much worse, but we're not going to trim it at all. Ooh, look at that. Look how horrible this thing is. It's all split up. But in the interest of saving money, which is one of the reasons that you roll your own, we're going to make this work and show you that it can work. We put glue all around the split, both sides of it. Put it down here, and we're going to leave this little piece tagged onto the bottom, even though it's all ratty. Okay? There's our wrapper. Now remember, I'm wrapping these right now. When I unwrap the paper, I'm going to smoke it. I'm not going to put a wrapper on it, just a binder. As long as the binder doesn't have holes in it, you can smoke it. Now if I can take this out in an hour and put a wrapper on it, but wrapper is the most expensive part of tobacco that you buy online. Wrapper is expensive because it's thin and it's shade grown. It's grown in the shade. They put a cover over the top of it so it doesn't get too thick. It's much thinner than this binder and very small leaves, like the ones you buy in the store. They look real smooth and everything because they have a wrapper on them. Mine look very rustic because they're just a binder. But I save huge money. Half the money would go to a wrapper. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and start rolling up my intubado method filler. We're going to put 4 leaves. Which is about right for these little cigars. Now if you got a even smaller binder than that, you can use like 3 leaves or something. But put that in the middle. Ready to go. And we're going to start down here at this ratty piece on the end, and we're going to start wrapping it. Wrapping those pieces, that ratty piece and everything up in there. And carefully start making the cigar, picking up those ratty pieces as you go. Now you may get some flags on it, which is what I call these little pieces here. What you can do is take a little bit of glue, cigar glue. These are pieces I didn't get good glue on, and just glue it down. Not bad. For that ratty piece, trim the top and the bottom. Wrap it up. Voila. Oop. Okay, now if that happens, you twist it. Try it again. If you got to, just get another piece of paper. I mean, you cut dozens of strips at a time. There we go. So I'm going to roll about 5 or 6 more. That'll last me a couple days. I smoke about 3 a day, and then I'll put them aside. And then when I get ready to unroll them, I'll turn the camera back on. Okay, fans, Rick Taylor back. It's been about an hour and a half, and the cigar's been sitting on top of my decoder box for my cable, and I'm ready to unwrap them and stick them in my humidor, which is right over here. Okay, so let's take a look. Now occasionally that'll happen. You just press it back down where the paper will have picked up a leaf. Okay, so you can see it's starting to look more like a cigar. Now what I usually do is I put a little trim on each end, just like that. in the humidor. Now if you wanted to, you could apply a wrapper at this point, because in essence what it is the equivalent of a pressed bound cigar. And in a normal course of rolling, like in a factory, they would press a cigar. When it came out of the press, then they would put a wrapper on it. But as you can see, the binders do virtually the same job. As long as you're careful, don't leave any holes in it, you can smoke it just the way it is. Excuse the cough. Smoker's cough. Alright. And since you're hand rolling them and you're not using a press, there'll be different sizes and shapes and stuff. That's fine. That's just the way it is. And that gives you the selection when you're ready to smoke. If you want a bigger one or a smaller one or a shorter one, whatever, you can see, man, I mean, that's ready to smoke. It might be a little rough. It doesn't bother me because no one's going to see it but me. I'm going to sit in my house, watch TV, relax in the yard, whatever, and I'm going to smoke these. Now, people have asked me, how much does it cost to roll your own? Well, I figured it out at one point. It cost me under $1 a piece. It's according to how much you're paying for your stuff. But see, we're also avoiding buying wrapper. So for a pound of each, it costs you about $35 to $40 for a pound of wrapper and a pound of binder and a pound of filler. So it's like $35 for each of those, and you can roll with 1 pound of binder and 2 pounds of filler. You can probably roll 40 cigars, 60. So you're talking $50 to $55, 40 to 50 cigars. Just about $1 a piece. So there you have it, sitting in a humidor. Now, if you don't have a humidor, I suggest you get a humidor, because you don't want the cigars to dry out once you've rolled them, and that's the best way to keep them, is in a humidor. I mean, it's the right way to do it, and that way, however long it takes you to smoke them, they're not going to dry out, and the longer they sit in this humidor, I promise you, the better they'll be. So for now, that's my 2015 method. I might do some more, but we'll see what happens. So in the meantime, Rick Taylor, out.